Can't get a goddamn angle. What are we doing? What are we doing? Inspection. We got ourselves a case file. We're gonna have to go in. I think it's the usual suspects. And here they are. Dirty scumbags from across the street. I know what you've been up to, Aurora. I can reach into your mind, Doug. I'm sorry, you're getting all worked up. I didn't mean to do that. And you, Hoyt, you will never do nothing wrong. Take fucking 5, because I've only recorded this like 6 different times. Something's so unsettling for me when it comes to technology taking over the real world, and with a game like Observer, it kept me feeling extremely uncomfortable playing as Dan Lazarski, an observer of the Chiron Corporation.
If you don't remember, if you won't remember, that's when they call me.
A special task force isolated from the network of the world and equipped with terrifying technology such as the Dream Eater.
No rest for the wicked. How's the Dream Eater treating you?
Well, I'm not a vegetable yet.
Could have fooled me.
Hardy hard.
This allows Dan to literally tap into the minds of all the suspected characters that you would come across and dive right into their memories.
Subject approved. Commencing neural interrogation.
Dan is also played by Rutger Hauer, an incredible actor from tons of different sci-fi films. One most known is Blade Runner, which you can definitely tell this game pulls some influences from. When you start the game sitting in your car looking at the rundown futuristic alleyways covered in pollution and low-class citizens, Dan sits in his DeLorean chatting with the operator about his pills, starting off the first set of branching dialogue options.
I'm serious, Dan. Your signal's all over the place. Have you taken your meds?
Not in a while.
Do it now. I need you in good shape.
While pulling from presumably Blade Runner, you'll also come across a lot of George Orwell 1984 books scattered across the game, which this is one of my favorite books of all time, but the game definitely pulls from this as well, with Chiron being the one and all-powerful entity, taking over after the planet turned on each other after everybody was too weak to fight each other. B. That's Big Brother, baby. Through Observer, you'll be looking for Dan's son Adam after receiving a signal from a small C-class apartment complex where you'll spend most of the game talking to the residents, stuck in the rooms after a system lockdown, showing you how dependent these people really are on the network to keep them satisfied at all times.
KPD, I need to ask you some questions.
Do you know what's going on? My holo projection got cut off. I can't get a signal. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know when they're gonna fix the connection? Not that it's like super important to me or anything. I just need to know.
You just take it easy. I'm sure someone is already working on it.
Oh, good. It's just that it feels weird to just sit here, alone, with my thoughts. You know.
If you're looking for an RPG or an action game or anything really other than some really awesome dialogue and visuals, you'll be super disappointed, as Observer is strictly a narrative game. Other than the crime scene analysis tools Dan uses to spot blood on defiled, mangled corpses and different mods they might have had inside them. This focus on story really just feels refreshing, as it just keeps it short and sweet, only being around 6 to 8 hours long if you're not like me, getting stuck on the most stupidest stages of all time, trying to pull back curtains or just find little buttons and chairs, all different kinds of things. You'll be talking to the eyes in the television screens, coming across from very depressing situations, as some people seem to go through withdrawals without the web, while others just seem to have flat out lost it.
Yeah, very confusing. So, about the exit?
All right. Go past the noisy noises, and then straight ahead up the stairs, and there you go.
Thank you.
Just be careful. Don't stray from the path. You are a child of light, Daniel. Much too precious to get lost in the dark.
All these different conversations kept me running in for more, as I dive my way through the complex, finding sex bots becoming conscious, and just a slew of terrible lives stuck in these lockdown boxes. With each level, a different level of citizen, as once you get to the bottom of the basement, you kind of just start to realize that people just get lost in the system, as they just become scum to the city.
Ma'am, I really don't want to leave you like this.
It's all right. I am where I want to be.
Wonderful. Aren't we having a mad fucking tea party?
Where Observer really seems to pick itself up is in the interrogation scenes, stumbling into tattoo parlors to find a man hanging on by a thread after being mutilated by highly modded monsters. Not being able to answer anything, Dan pulls out his Dream Eater and jacks into the mind of the dying man, where he'll be sent to some of the most interesting scenes in the game, running from shadows and finding out more and more about the tenants of the apartment and the means of Dan's son Adam and what he's actually up to. Glitching through memories, Dan struggles to keep in control as he jacks into dead mines, left me feeling just straight up worried for Dan's sanity, as he was just a super likable character for me, being a part of the man and keeping his own identity, all the different dialogue things that you kind of come across in this game, the people that you talk to and whatnot. I keep saying dialogue all the time lately, I realize this. But Dan's just such a friendly person, and I really think everybody will just come to like him. These scenes get so impressive, warping Dan's reality into nightmares and memories, injecting Synchrozen, which is the medicine you use to keep yourself sane and to keep yourself human, while the Dream Eater is actually connected to your wrist. Which kind of gave me an amazing feeling, as the game just gets so real with its super exaggerated tale of the future, where anybody can change anything about themselves, living halfway between reality and the Matrix. Observer doesn't have too many threats in the game besides one giant monster that you'll come to know over time as he follows you into the mind of your suspects. Other creepy but harmless characters like Janice, the apartment groundskeeper, show a more depressing side if you haven't found it already, as you learn about his low-class grade and how it's exempt him from the medical help that he needs. Janice's body is pretty much half synth, including parts of his brain. As you talk to Janice, he kind of struggles to get fluid sentences out or even keep track of time. He glitches through his sentences while giving you information about the tenants, while his seemingly harmless robot Rudy roams the halls, fixing and hiding in inconvenient places, blocking off hallways and rooms, and generally just scaring the shit out of you, as he always just seems to be right behind you. Like I said, sealing up doors, doing whatever he's doing. Maybe he's trying to unlock them, I don't know. Maybe Rudy's a part of this. But Janice over time really grew on me after I learned more about his life. He's been experimented on with risky mods that have pretty much made his life a living hell, making even just rain on his skin feel like acid to just random resets in his brain when he's talking. Observer is really hard to define, as it's just hard to explain what exactly it is. The feeling this game projects feels like high-tech and dirty 80s sci-fi films, or like a 4K VCR, advertisements beamed right into your brain, DeLoreans with computers and AIs for dream-walking cops. So many ideas get thrown at you in this game and really made me wanting more, especially when it came to Chiron and what they actually do, because it just seemed like they never really got into it. It just says they just took over everything, and then everybody's just hooked on entertainment at a super exaggerated level. I'd almost really like a side story from the developers, maybe inside of Chiron, to see just what exactly is going on, but who knows where their projects will be next. First Layers of Fear, now this. They seem to have a pretty good format in terms of making interesting environments and places to tell a good story in. Towards the end of this game, it really starts to fuck with you, sending you into dead mines as your Dream Eater warns you of illegal use.
Freedom Observation Act of 2061. Authorization denied.
Emergency override. Open maintenance panel.
Safety disabled. Warning. Brainwave activity sensor offline. Emergency extraction procedure offline.
This better be worth it.
Jacking into corpses to find Adam, finding the killer, and jacking into his body as well. Kind of sends Dan into this just frenzy of lucid visions and fried synapses, and he's just grasping for reality the entire time. This really just kind of hit me right in the feels, as it really nails what I like in the horror genre, just spiraling out of control. It does it so well.
I am control. I am.
Spiraling through wastelands of computer wires, running into corpses, merging and sending data back and forth. For the ending, I was super impressed, giving you two choices, both pretty equally terrifying and intriguing, while giving you some of the best visuals of the game, really making me think of Lawnmower Man. If you have not seen Lawnmower Man, it's kind of similar to the idea of what Adam's done. It's just kind of older. I don't know if it still holds up. It probably does not hold up. Adam and Dan finally meet and are forced to deal with one another as Adam reveals his new true self.
Signature, but it was too late. If I could bust out of the building's internal network, I might be able to outrun it.
So we need to lift the damn lockdown.
But both endings just feel terribly wrong, and not in a bad writing sense, but in just being so goddamn hopeless. But I'll try not to spoil any more of this. I know I do say a lot of the spoilers, but just know I'm just doing little milestones, little tick marks of the story. I miss out on so much. I'm just going over the basics, guys, so there's no reason why you should not go and support these guys. I would really like to see what else they can come up with. So I hope I've convinced a few of you to go try this game and support the small dev teams, and I also hope you guys enjoyed this back of the box, because I've recorded it literally 5 times, and just for different reasons. just different bad things keep happening to me. So, but anyways, guys, have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. And I also wanted to say, check out this little worm. It's been in a couple other of the videos. I got it from one of my uncles. I'll post his Twitter down in the description so you guys can check out some of his other stuff. And maybe if you're lucky enough, you can buy one of them or something. He's got a whole ton of them coming up from different video games. It's not even just video games. But I hope you guys have a great day. And once again, thank you so much for watching.
There you are. Bad drone. Bad drone.